Good afternoon. This is Debra Wilson. I am in Bradford, West Yorkshire. It is the 26th of February, 2021. The time is 1600 hours and 6 minutes, and that's GMT. I am on the lookout for research about models of ADOS, that's American Descendants of Slaves, models of activism emerging from ADOS communities or persons that emanate around the globe. Obviously, things move globally more easily in very recent history because of social media. But I still argue it takes human beings to facilitate the interest, to spur the algorithms to give something prominence on social media. So how does that happen? I also would make the argument that American descendants of slaves, which I am a part of that ethnic group, are a bottom caste in the United States of America. However, because they are in or emanate from the US, they automatically have a global microphone. But the greatest irony of this is sometimes ADOS activism, civil societies, activism has more of a voice outside the country than inside the country. How and why does that happen? So the research I'm looking for is a better understanding by some academic researchers on how ADOS, civil societies, activism moves globally and impacts global activism. Again, I understand social media and I understand algorithms, but it still needs human beings' involvement. One of the things I'm curious about is Canada and the United Kingdom. I've lived in both countries, and I seek an understanding of the ways in which when Canadians, a critical mass of Canadians, or a critical mass of Brits become aware of ADOS activism, how it reverberates around their country and then is amplified even more in the globe. Canada borders the US, as you know, but Canadians collectively are more global thinking than I would argue collectively Americans, irrespective of their ethnicity. Collectively, okay? Then I would make the argument that British people collectively tend to punch above their weight, tend to are more global in their thinking. You might think that's, you might beg to differ with me considering Brexit. But nevertheless, when British people think and talk, it's always from a perspective of being part of Europe, part of the world. That is the way Canadians speak. That is simply not the way the average American speaks. It's not the way the average American thinks. So, American descendants of slaves are Americans. They're one of the many ethnic groups in America. Again, I'm going to argue they're bottom caste, that we are bottom caste, and often not heard within our country of birth. And then why is it that activism, civil society's activism, some of it makes its way around the globe and is heard and it's admired and it's reproduced and it's copied and it's all manner of things. Why is that? So I'm looking to be as succinct as possible as I'm still in the gathering research mode, which is very exciting for me, but it's also more exciting to write it up. Okay, nerd alert, right? ADOS, civil society's activism. What's giving it the microphone, the global microphone? First of all, it emanates from the U.S., which is the most powerful country in the world. Then I'm curious about what happens when it hits countries like Canada and the United Kingdom. Because those are both countries that it's easy and common for the people in those countries, irrespective of who they are, to think of themselves as part of a larger and to communicate in such a manner and to look in such a manner and always looking not only at their respective nations, Canada and the United Kingdom, but at the world and engaging in all manner of things and through the prism of we are Canadians or Brits and we're part of something this bigger and they believe, many people, that it's accessible in ways that I don't think the average American does, be it television, be it social media, looking above and beyond your country of birth. So that's a lot. I think it's a lot, but that's what I'm looking for. So I just love researching things, particularly how things come together. And you know what the most exciting thing is about research? When you learn something. So I mean, for me, when I realize I'm going in the wrong direction, the exciting part, that's not fun, but the exciting part is that you right yourself and go in the correct direction. And so, yeah, that's what I'm looking for, research. This is Debra V. Wilson, and I am in Bradford, and that is in West Yorkshire. Thank you so much.